For a long time, Joe Rogan has fascinated viewers with his unwavering quest for the truth, hosting highly contentious discussions and delving into the thoughts of the most influential individuals on the planet. Taking a groundbreaking step, Rogan has ventured into the heart of the Arabian Peninsula, a mysterious land with exclusive secrets. His latest discoveries behind the closed doors of Saudi Arabia will send chills down your spine, and this maiden revelation is about to completely destroy the false reality about Saudi Arabia that we always thought was true. So join us as we unravel the terrifying truth about Joe Rogan's recent announcement about Saudi Arabia. Previously known as the State of Saudi Arabia, this oil-rich country is now the second largest Arab nation in Western Asia and the Middle East. It encompasses a significant portion of the Arabian Peninsula, spanning a vast land area of approximately 2,150,000 square kilometers. In fact, it is also the fifth largest country in all of Asia. Despite its popularity, however, Saudi Arabia has long grappled with the challenge of desertification. This means that the country has been dealing with the gradual transformation of fertile land into desert due to various factors. Saudi Arabia boasts diverse geographical features, including forests, grasslands, mountainous regions, and deserts. Consequently, there are notable variations in regional temperatures. The desert areas can experience scorching temperatures exceeding 110 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer. On the other hand, in the northern and central parts of the nation, temperatures can drop below freezing in the winter. However, a remarkable transformation has recently taken place in Saudi Arabia. The country has employed numerous modern technologies to address the issue of desertification. As a result, vast stretches of previously barren desert land have been converted into fertile green farmland. Joe Rogan believes this achievement is nothing short of miraculous. The average amount of rainfall in Saudi Arabia is very low, only 4 inches per year. Saudi Arabia is considered one of the countries facing a severe shortage of water. Surprisingly, 97% of its population still has access to drinkable water. However, to put things into perspective, the absolute water shortage threshold is set at 500 cubic meters per person per year, while Saudi Arabia only produces 89.5 cubic meters per person annually. And despite relatively high rates of water access in the country, Saudi Arabia faces a critical problem due to excessive consumption and the lack of reliable, renewable water sources. This issue has become a top priority for the nation. While many people consider oil the most valuable natural resource in Saudi Arabia, the increasing water problem is starting to make water equally valuable. The main sources of water in Saudi Arabia are the oceans and groundwater. Unfortunately, both of these sources are rapidly depleting. It's worth noting that 98% of all naturally occurring fresh water is stored on the earth. In Saudi Arabia, the utilization of water is evenly split between these two sources, each accounting for 50% of the water consumed. Over the past 30 years, agriculture in Arabia has made remarkable progress. This achievement is particularly impressive considering that the nation has one of the lowest rates of rainfall in the world, receiving an average of only 4 inches of rain per year. Despite this challenging environment, extensive portions of the desert have been transformed into fertile agricultural fields. Today, Saudi Arabia has become a major exporter of various goods to global markets. These goods include wheat, dates, dairy products, eggs, fish, poultry, fruits, vegetables, and flowers. While dates were once a staple food in the Saudi diet, they are now primarily grown for international humanitarian assistance. Now, the Ministry of Agriculture holds the primary responsibility for formulating and implementing agricultural policies in Saudi Arabia. Additionally, though, other government organizations play crucial roles in supporting the agricultural sector. For instance, the Grain Silos and Flour Mills organization is responsible for procuring and storing wheat, establishing flour mills, and producing livestock feed. The Saudi Arabian Agricultural Bank provides subsidies and interest-free loans to further support the agricultural industry. These financial resources are instrumental in assisting farmers and promoting the country's agricultural growth. Joe Rogan believes that the government plays a crucial role in supporting agricultural development in the kingdom. It finances various research projects and implements programs for land distribution and reclamation. The private sector has also made significant contributions to the growth of agriculture in Saudi Arabia. This success can be attributed to government initiatives that have provided long-term interest-free loans, technical assistance, support services, and financial incentives such as free fertilizer, seeds, inexpensive water, fuel, electricity, and duty-free imports of equipment and raw materials. In the past, apart from a small coastal strip in the southwest, agriculture in the Arabian Peninsula mainly consisted of date farming and small-scale vegetable production in scattered areas. Local communities were able to meet their food needs from these small plots, and any surplus produce was sold to traveling caravans. However, in the 1970s, there was a significant surge in agricultural growth. In addition to constructing rural roads, irrigation networks, storage facilities, and export facilities, the government initiated a comprehensive program to support agricultural research and training institutions. As a result, the production of staple foods, including meat, milk, and eggs, has witnessed a dramatic increase, making Saudi Arabia entirely self-sufficient in these commodities. And as water availability is crucial for Saudi Arabian farmland, the kingdom has implemented a multifaceted program to meet the immense water demands of the agricultural sector. A network of dams has been built to capture and utilize periodic floods effectively. Through deep wells, substantial underground water reservoirs have been accessed. Desalination facilities have been established to convert ocean water into fresh water for use in cities and industries, thereby freeing up other water sources for farming. Additionally, infrastructure has been developed to utilize industrial and urban runoff for agricultural irrigation. These efforts have transformed large portions of the desert into productive farmland. It is remarkable that despite the majority of Saudi Arabia's terrain being covered by desert, many indigenous plant species have adapted to the harsh climate. And under the umbrella of the Saudi Green Initiative, endeavors are underway to preserve and even increase the amount of vegetation across the kingdom. Within the vast expanse of Saudi Arabia, there is a remarkable variety of plant life, with over 2,000 wild plant species belonging to 142 families, as reported by the Saudi National Center for Wildlife. Unfortunately, the status of many of these plants is concerning, as approximately 600 species are currently classified as endangered and 21 are already believed to be extinct. To combat this alarming trend, the Saudi Green Initiative recently launched an ambitious project aimed at addressing deforestation. The goal is to plant a staggering 450 million trees in the years to come. Remarkably, the kingdom has already made significant progress, with approximately 10 million trees already planted across all 13 regions. When one thinks of Saudi Arabia, forests may not be the first thing that comes to mind. However, the kingdom actually boasts around 2.7 million hectares of woodland, predominantly located in the southwest remote mountains of APA and Assa. The scale of planting 450 million trees may seem daunting, especially considering the rapid urbanization taking place in the country. Nonetheless, the Saudi government has set specific objectives under the SGI to seamlessly integrate green areas into urban growth. This includes establishing parks and forest stations within the boundaries of the kingdom's desert cities, mitigating the potential negative impacts of urban sprawl. By greening these previously barren urban spaces, several benefits can be achieved. Not only will it help combat global warming by reducing carbon dioxide emissions, but it will also enhance air quality and create opportunities for more active lifestyles. Moreover, the greening effort will add an aesthetic appeal to the cities, creating sustainable and beautiful urban environments. However, in rural areas with less urban development, the greening initiatives face challenges from encroaching desertification, limited water supplies, and exceptionally high temperatures. These issues are believed to be the direct consequences of human-caused climate change. The SGI roadmap has been designed to protect and preserve the kingdom's unique biodiversity, combat desertification and soil degradation, and ensure the conservation of the country's limited water resources, especially in areas where rainfall is inadequate and groundwater levels have decreased. Currently, Saudi Arabia has 15 protected areas that are recognized for their biodiversity, with 12 on land and 3 in coastal and aquatic regions, according to the National Center for Wildlife. However, the aim is to increase this number to 75, with 62 protected areas on land and 13 in coastal and aquatic regions. The King Salman World Nature Reserve in northern Saudi Arabia covers approximately 6% of the kingdom's total land area. This reserve is home to about 300 different animal species and boasts rare archaeological heritage sites, some of which date back as far as 8000 BC. The reserve encompasses diverse landscapes including mountains, vast plains, and high plateaus. To support the objectives of the CGI, the reserve's authority and its partners have recently planted 100,000 seedlings as part of an initiative. Volunteers have played a crucial role in collaboration with the reserve's administration and modern technologies to achieve these planting efforts. According to a spokesperson from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's Natural Resources Authority, Saudi Arabia is fully committed to increasing the amount of vegetation cover in the region. They have already achieved this by planting 600,000 plants and conducting numerous seed-sowing campaigns to boost the vegetation in reserves. The focus is on using perennial trees and shrubs to restore the ecosystem that the desert has damaged. These plants are native to desert habitats and have adapted to endure harsh conditions such as drought and high temperatures. They are also resilient and require minimal water for irrigation. The establishment of primary nurses is just one of the many projects that contribute to the strategic goal of creating a sustainable and thriving ecosystem. However, water remains a significant challenge for the kingdom's conservation efforts and green initiatives. For most of history, the people of the Arabian Peninsula have developed freshwater wells to support their lives and withstand storms, but after experiencing an economic boom in the 1970s, Saudi Arabia gradually adopted modern farming techniques and started relying on groundwater resources. The country also constructed seawater desalination plants to support the inland cities along its eastern and western coastal regions. Now, this helped alleviate the scarcity of rivers, natural lakes, and the limited annual rainfall that replenishes water sources. Nevertheless, the growing demand for fresh water continues to pose a problem as natural aquifers quickly deplete. The King Abdullah University of Science and Technology Center for Desert Agriculture, represented by Maria Nava, a scientific advisor for Green Arabia, shared some insights with Arab News. Nava mentioned that the SGI strategic team is likely to utilize treated wastewater to irrigate newly planted vegetation. Additionally, their objective is to minimize the loss of rainfall to the sea by implementing sand infiltration through water harvesting techniques in the kingdom. They also aim to enhance the soil's ability to retain water where necessary. Now, Saudi Arabia's traditional diet has undergone significant changes due to developments in agriculture, resulting in a wider range of local food options that were unimaginable just a few generations ago. While dates still hold importance as supplementary meals in Saudi Arabia, they are no longer the essential staple they once were. Nowadays, a considerable portion of the approximately 450 different types of dates produced each year, estimated to be around 500,000 tons, is allocated for international humanitarian assistance. Tens of thousands of tons of dates are donated annually to address famine and food shortages, primarily through the World Food Programme of the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization. In fact, there is a factory in Al-Hassa solely dedicated to producing dates for foreign assistance programs, coordinated by the FAO. This food assistance provided by Saudi Arabia through the World Food Programme has directly helped many countries. Right after the United States, Saudi Arabia is the second largest contributor to this initiative, and the Saudi government has implemented several initiatives to support the agricultural sector's growth in the country over the past few years. These initiatives include providing soft loans with low interest rates, offering technical and support services, and facilitating the import of low-cost water, fuel, electricity, equipment, and raw materials without import duties. These measures have greatly assisted the agricultural sector. What's more, foreign joint venture partners of Saudi individuals or businesses can benefit from tax exemptions for up to 10 years. Moreover, additional incentives have been introduced through investment rules since April 2000 to encourage agricultural development. The Ministry of Agriculture is responsible for implementing agricultural policies in Saudi Arabia. It actively supports farmers through research and extension work, assisting them in improving their agricultural practices. Another supporting organization is the Saudi Arabian Agricultural Bank, which plays a crucial role in distributing assistance and providing interest-free loans to farmers. SAAB also aids in establishing flour mills, procuring and stockpiling wheat, and developing animal feed to support agricultural expansion throughout the country. This effort is further facilitated by the Grain Silos and Flour Mills Organization, which was established in 1972. And according to Joe Rogan, Saudi Arabia has allocated a significant amount of money to improve the roads that connect regions where agricultural products are produced to the marketplaces where consumers can buy them. This investment aims to encourage private individuals and companies to invest in the agricultural sector. Moreover, in 1968, the country launched a program called the Land Distribution and Reclamation Program. The primary goal of this program is to distribute uncultivated land for free, usually in small portions, to expand the overall cultivated area and boost crop and livestock production. Under this program, the beneficiaries of the land must cultivate at least 25% of the total land area within 2 to 5 years. Once the farmer meets this requirement, they are granted complete ownership of the land. Now, the government places emphasis on diversification and improved efficiency in the agricultural sector. Consequently, they continue to support new farmers undertaking capital-intensive projects as part of the national development plans. Additionally, the government funds and assists research initiatives focused on developing new food crops, increasing harvest yields, and creating plant varieties that are more resistant to pests. These efforts aim to enhance overall farm productivity. These research programs occur at agricultural research centers within Saudi Arabian universities and colleges. Local farmers actively collaborate with scientists in these programs. And it's worth noting that this progress is remarkable, considering that Saudi Arabia relies on imports for 90% of its fresh food supply. By harnessing the power of clay and water, the country has transformed the once harsh and barren Arabian desert into a thriving and fruitful orchard. And Joe Rogan recently revealed that Saudi Arabia is currently searching for something that may be even more valuable than oil. For the past 24 years, they've been using hidden water supplies to grow crops like wheat in the Syrian desert. This water, known as fossil water, was trapped during the last ice age and has created underground rivers and lakes beneath the shifting sands of the desert. By drilling through the desert floor, Saudi Arabia can access this water and use it to irrigate their crops through a sprinkler system called center pivot irrigation. Water is a precious resource in this region because rainfall is extremely scarce, with only a few centimeters per year. However, hydrologists predict that it will only be economically viable to pump water for around 50 years, although the exact amount of water available beneath the arid land is unknown. The agricultural areas in question span about 1 kilometer across, as seen in the 4 Landsat images. Data from 3 different Landsat satellites operated by NASA and the U.S. Geological Survey were used to generate these images. These images show the desert's green crops, which were irrigated using partially trapped fossil water. The images utilize the shortwave infrared, near-infrared, and green portions of the electromagnetic spectrum, specifically bands 7, 4, and 2 from Landsat 4 and 5 TM and Landsat 7 ETM Plus sensors. In this set of wavelengths, healthy foliage appears bright green, while dry vegetation appears orange. Urban regions like the town of Tarbajal, shown at the top of each image, are painted purple, while barren soil is depicted as dark pink. Micro-irrigation is a method that involves using small amounts of water in close proximity to plants. It differs from sprinkler systems, which spray water through nozzles, and gravity systems, which flood fields or use furrows to channel water. These various techniques are examples of irrigation technologies. To prevent excessive irrigation, farmers can employ strategies like irrigation timing to help schedule and optimize water usage. Additionally, they can utilize precision agriculture technologies such as soil moisture sensors, decision support tools on computers or smartphones, and remote control of irrigation equipment. These tools aim to enhance farm profitability by increasing crop yields while reducing input costs. Although much evidence wasn't found suggesting that water conservation plays a significant role in adopting irrigation technology, two primary factors drive farmers to embrace these advancements: increased profits and reduced risks. However, there are obstacles that hinder the widespread adoption of more efficient technologies, such as small farm sizes, high capital expenditures, and a lack of knowledge about the available technologies. Moreover, limited connectivity, particularly in rural areas with restricted broadband access, can pose a barrier to the implementation of precision agriculture tools. Since it first appeared in 1982, Landsat 4 has been responsible for gathering valuable scientific data until 1993. Following that, NASA launched Landsat 5 in 1984, which set a remarkable record by operating for an impressive 28 years. However, its final transmission likely occurred in 2011. In 1999, Landsat 7 was launched and is still currently in operation. Thanks to the data provided by these Landsat satellites, our understanding of various aspects such as forest health, storm damage, agricultural trends, urban development, and other ongoing changes to our land has significantly improved. The management of Landsat is a joint effort between NASA and the U.S. Department of the Interior, specifically the U.S. Geological Survey, which also maintains an accessible online archive of Landsat images spanning 40 years. Now, deserts make up approximately 1/3 of the world's land surface, characterized by minimal precipitation, poor and sandy soil, scorching temperatures, intense winds, limited water collection potential, and heavy reliance on non-renewable groundwater. Despite these challenging conditions, millions of people depend on deserts for their livelihoods. Unfortunately, the food networks and agro-biodiversity in deserts are currently at risk. This is why the International Center for Agricultural Research in the Dry Areas is essential. ICARDA aims to bring about systematic and sustainable changes in desert agriculture. They accomplish this by designing, promoting, and scaling out integrated desert family farming systems, IDSAT, combining traditional farming practices, nature-based solutions, and affordable, useful technologies. Dry areas account for 44% of the world's food production, with half of its livestock being raised in these regions. Approximately 2.7 billion people inhabit these dry lands, and it's estimated that around 40 million people live in deserts that typically receive less than 100 millimeters of rainfall per year. For many countries in these regions, desert farming is their sole means of food production and employment within the agricultural and food systems. But despite the importance of desert agriculture, several factors combine to create a severe threat to its viability. Climate change, population pressures, improper land management techniques, extreme temperatures, low soil fertility, limited availability of organic matter, water scarcity, salinity, wind erosion, high evaporation rates, and isolation from markets and energy sources all contribute to the challenges faced by desert farmers. These factors paint a bleak outlook for the family farmers residing in these areas. Except for a few specific technologies and crop types, farmers' water to an area remains relatively constant when they switch to more efficient irrigation systems, as revealed by the GAO's analysis of surveyed data on farms. For example, when orchards and vineyards transition to micro-irrigation, they use less water per acre. Efficient technology gives farmers more flexibility to expand their irrigated land or cultivate crops requiring more water. However, this could potentially lead to increased water usage. To address the impact of irrigated agriculture in water-scarce regions of the United States, the GAO was tasked with researching policy options. In response, they suggested several measures for federal policymakers to consider, encouraging the adoption of more effective irrigation techniques and equipment, such as irrigation scheduling, and promoting the use of precision agriculture tools like weather monitors and soil moisture sensors. Now, agriculture has expanded into desert lands that were previously thought unsuitable for growing food. This is because of advancements in desert farming made possible by research institutions like ICARDA. Private companies have also helped. They use technology like desalination and renewable energy to grow food in dry areas. Many countries support desert farming by making helpful policies as well. This reduces the need for food imports and promotes selling organic produce. As a result, desert farming has grown and includes growing fruits, date palms, grass for animals, rehabilitating land, protected farming, raising animals, and fishing. However, the lack of rain still poses a significant challenge for raising livestock and cultivating plants or crops in the desert. These activities can only be made possible if water is extracted from underground aquifers and used for irrigation. In fact, water availability is the most crucial factor in desert agriculture, surpassing all other considerations. In certain areas, the only available water is either non-renewable or too saline to be directly used for agricultural purposes. Consequently, any efforts to expand desert agriculture must prioritize comprehensive and sustainable management of groundwater resources over the long term. Now, as part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 plan to make the country more diverse and less reliant on oil, Prince Mohammed bin Salman introduced NEOM, an incredible city of the future, in 2017. In Rogan's opinion, NEOM wants to create something completely new and exciting. It's not just another city, but a place that sets new standards and thinks differently about how cities should be. It will be a huge city covering more than 10,000 square miles, about Belgium's size or 33 times bigger than New York City. It will be in the northwest part of Saudi Arabia, close to busy shipping routes, which will make it great for trade. The city will be all about sustainability and using renewable energy. It wants to be completely carbon neutral and have the latest clean energy, water, and waste management systems. It will also be an all-in-one destination where you can work, live, and have fun in the same place. One of the most exciting things about NEOM is the line. It's a smart city without roads or cars, and it will stretch for 100 miles. Instead of cars, you'll have autonomous electric cars, hyperloop systems, and even flying taxis to get around. NEOM will be a hub for business and tourism, hosting major events and providing a modern lifestyle. NEOM will offer luxury with fancy hotels, restaurants, and shopping centers, but it will also have beautiful natural areas like beaches and mountains where you can relax and enjoy nature. The goal is to create a city that works together with the environment, allowing people to live healthy lives. To make NEOM happen, a lot of money is being invested. Top companies like McKinsey and Boston Consulting are working on the project. NEOM is attracting talented people worldwide, especially in technology, healthcare, and education. The city is being funded by the Public Investment Fund, which is a big investment fund from the Saudi government. They have already invested billions of dollars in different industries. Soon they will offer shares of NEOM to the public so that anyone can invest in this amazing project. But NEOM is not just about money. It will create jobs and boost the economy. By 2030, it plans to have 1 million residents and create over 1 million jobs. It's a massive project that will change Saudi Arabia and show the world what the future can look like. What are your thoughts on Rogan's shocking truth about Saudi Arabia? Let us know your opinions in the comments below.